The Orioles had no choice but to pitch to Adrian Gonzalez in the bottom of the ninth last night, and Adrian quickly delivered the Padres' 8th walk-off win. Clayton Richard has been the model of consistency, allowing more than 3 runs in a start only one time this season. Stay sharp, because when you're the first place team, you take everyone's best shot. Saturday night in San Diego on Tony Gwynn Drive at Petco Park. The news is good. The Dodgers and Giants have already lost, and the Padres have opened up a 1.5 lead in the NL West and have the Orioles in town for Game 2 of this 3-game series. Interleague play between Baltimore and San Diego. Terrific to have you along. Mark Neely along with Mark Grant. And Mud, Clayton Richard on the hill tonight. He lost his first 2 starts of the year, but really since then, he has been nearly unbeatable.
The model of consistency, you betcha. And why has Clayton Richard pitched so well? Even though he didn't pitch that badly in Colorado, he pitched 7 innings, only gave up 3 runs. But when you look at Clayton Richard working very closely with Darren Balsey, it boils down to a couple of things. One is the location of the fastball, and also his breaking stuff. He has refined his breaking ball, the breaking ball down into the righties, and also the changeup. That's one of the reasons why Clayton Richard has been so successful. And quality starts, you know as well as anybody, taking it deep into the ball game, it's going to help you with that bullpen as well.
So Clayton Richard on the hill tonight. Here is our pitching matchup for tonight. 13-year Major League veteran Kevin Millwood is going for the Orioles, who a season ago for Texas won 13 games, but he is winless so far this season through 14 starts. He's allowed 20 earned runs in his last 3 starts combined. 2 of those starts against the Yankees and 1 against the Mets. Millwood, however, has won his last 5 decisions against the Padres and is 6-1 in his career versus San Diego. Clayton Richard has pitched well, but does not have a decision in his last 3 starts. Tonight's pitching matchup brought to you by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Clayton Richard has never lost an interleague start in his time with the White Sox or the Padres. Game 2 of the series, Baltimore and San Diego, and the first pitch is straight ahead. Here at Petco Park. Closed captioning brought to you by Corky's. Don't let termites steal home, especially your home. Call Corky's at 1-800-901-1102. Here's the lineup for the Baltimore Orioles, brought to you by Floor Trader. Pay way less for your flooring and take it home today. Now open in Lemon Grove. It's Lugo up top tonight. Then Tejada in the 2 spot, who does come in with a 5-game hitting streak. Then Markakis. Wigginton is batting in the cleanup role. Luke Scott getting the start in left field. Jones in center. Wieters catching. Then is Turris and the pitcher Millwood. And Clayton Richard on the hill for San Diego.
Well, Clayton Richard has been throwing the ball extremely well. We featured him in our pregame show. But the numbers just keep to get better and better for the left-hander. Roland Sevens, out of his last 2, 4, 6, 8 starts, 7 of them have been 7 solid innings. Trying to break that ND, though, that no decision, trying to get a victory here at home.
Our starting pitcher profile is brought to you by the Mark Condos, luxurious downtown San Diego condos from the 300s. Go to themarksandiego.com. Yeah, Bud Black's Padres won 2 of their last 3, winning here last night 3-2 to take the opener of the series with the Orioles. And second baseman Julio Lugo in the box. We are set to go on this Saturday for Petco Park. Terrific to have you along. And the first pitch from Clay Richard up high, and we are underway. 70 degrees at game time. Lugo 1 for 3. He did knock in one of the 2 Oriole runs last night. One hopper to the shortstop, Jerry Hairston. Oh, and air mails that. He went into the dugout and bounced around, and Lugo will be awarded second base.
Well, Jerry had plenty of time. Does he just work underneath it? And, you know, I have to admit, I was watching the flight of the baseball. I don't know what Jerry Hairston's reaction was after that ball was thrown, whether he looked at his hand or what, but see him rubbing his index finger and thumb together, and judging by the body language, just couldn't get a grip. Tough break for the Padres and Clayton Richard.
6th error of the season charged to Jerry Hairston, and it puts Lugo at second to begin the game.
Let's take another look at this play, Mark. Oh, that's like a split finger grip. It's almost as if he didn't have the grip that he really wanted as he committed to throw to first base.
Well, costly to put Lugo at second. Lugo has not had an extra base hit all season.
That's like unbelievable.
In 46 games that he's played in, but he winds up, thanks to the 2-base error, at second. And Tejada, who has been hitting pretty well over the last week at the plate.
Well, that's like almost the statistic that the Orioles, they have yet to have a home run from their first baseman this year.
That's nuts. This deep into the season.
Yeah.
0-2 pitch is now made as Richard takes a look back at Lugo.
Well, the ideal situation here for Clayton Richard, you know, Tejada's trying to move that, you know, he wants to drive it in, obviously, but worst case scenario, move him over. So if Clayton can bury something inside, have him pull it to third base, keep that runner. There you go, trying to bury that fastball on the inside part of the plate. That's a tough pitch to inside out.
Tejada last night had a couple of hits and scored one of the 2 Oriole runs. Shallow right, Venable, plenty of time. And Lugo remains at second, 1 out. Here's the Padre defense. Brought to you by Tiger Turf. Tiger up your lawn with Tiger Turf, the world's best-selling synthetic turf. Visit mytigerturf.com today. It's Scott Hairston, Tony Jr. and Venable in the outfield. Headley and Gonzalez at the corners with Jerry and Eck up the middle and Torrealba catching. Orioles right fielder Nick Markakis. You know, the 2, 3, 4 hitters, Tejada, Markakis, and Wigington, same order again tonight. Runner taking off for third and no chance for Lugo. Remember last night, Lugo took off for third. There was the batter interference that was a big play in the game, but this time uncontested. Lugo gets his 5th steal.
I think Clayton Richard may have one look, the runner at second base. As we take a look, secondary lead, off and running is Lugo, and no throw. When a pitcher one looks, you know, that's in the scouting reports as well. When a runner's on second base, how often does the pitcher come set and look at second base? Look at the plate, look at second base. Some guys will fall into that pattern.
Richard falls behind Markakis, 2 balls, no strikes. So I would assume this changes the approach for Markakis. Now a fly ball gets a run home here.
Absolutely.
For the Orioles. A deep fly ball.
A little big game of pepper between Jerry Hairston Jr. and David Eckstein. Will do the trick as well.
To the right side or up the middle. And that's to left, and that looks like it will be deep enough. Scott Hairston making the catch, and Lugo tags. He will score an unearned run, and the Orioles score in the first. 22nd RBI for Markakis.
We're going to go back to that steal. See Clayton Richard, he is set, he one-looked him. He came set, he was looking at the runner, and then turned towards home plate and went. Now, a lot of pitchers will fall into a pattern. I'm not saying that's the case for Clayton, but like first base, you have to vary your moves. I believe at second base, you have to vary your head moves. Look at the runner, look at the plate. Look at the runner, maybe 2, 3 times. Maybe one time you look him back. He just happened to time him perfectly.
Ty Wigington takes in the dirt. Well, my initial point for the 2, 3, 4 hitters last night, very productive for the Orioles, as they want to combine 6 for 11, and Wigington picking up where he left off. He had 2 hits and an RBI last night, and he singles past Adrian, a 2-out hit.
You know, when you look at Ty Wigington, you probably think of his batting approach as a guy who likes to pull the ball. You look at his stature, he's a big kid. That was good hitting off the lefty Richard to the right side. That ball was struck well.
So that is the first Orioles hit, and here's left fielder Luke Scott. Ball 1 outside. Scott last night came up once in a pinch hitting spot. That was against Luke Gregerson. And he struck out against Luke in the 7th.
You know, it's tough enough to pitch at the big league level as it is. You know, if anybody wants that playback, it's Jerry Hairston Jr., the one he threw away. You know, when you give a team an extra out, even if it's the Orioles, I don't care who you are, a guy at second base with nobody out, it's all about making contact, right? Get the ball in the air, get the ball on the ground.
Pickoff attempt. Wigington, who does not have a steal this year, able to get back.
Let's see if he's got him. He wasn't even. He had him totally fooled, didn't he?
He's getting his secondary lead and overcame a throw to the bag. Check swing by Scott. They asked for the appeal, and no swing, says third base umpire Chris Guccione.
You know, with such a good move to first base, not only does it mess up, I think, the runner at first, but also the hitter. He doesn't know whether he's going to go to the plate or go over to first base, so he's got to be in his game as well.
Another check swing. This time he did go, says Chris Guccione.
Well, Luke Scott having a tough time up there. I don't know whether it's because of the glare or the 5:35 start or the arm angle or the leg kick of Clayton Richard, but last 2 swings have been, last 2 offers, I should say, have been not good ones.
I think it's a combination of everything you just mentioned there, because look at the long shadow there at home plate. I think he's definitely getting some glare. He's got some pretty serious eye black going to try to combat that, but with this earlier Saturday start, that's the look of the shadows to begin this game.
And you know, I've talked to players about that before. They say it always looks worse on TV than it is in person. But still, though, there's a glare out there.
Up and in, and Scott spins away. taking it to a full count. Yeah, take a look from down low there.
Yeah. That's gnarly. That's almost Colorado-like at Coors Field.
Did you just drop a gnarly, Spicoli?
I did.
Nice.
G-N-A-R.
And you can spell it, too.
Yeah.
Just as impressive. The 3-2 up the middle and through. Wigginton will go to third, and the Orioles will have runners at the corners.
Frustrating to get a 12-hopper on the infield, but because of the way the defense was shifted towards the right, Eckstein towards the right a little bit, the ball finds the hole at the center of the diamond. Where was the pitch? It was up. It was a breaking ball. That was up. And you can see Eck playing that way. Well, if that breaking ball is where it's supposed to be, what does Scott do? He hooks it because it's a breaking ball, and he hits it on the ground to the right side. It's because it was elevated and up and away that he shot it up the center of the diamond.
So back-to-back two-out hits for Baltimore brings up Adam Jones. First pitch strike. On the slider. The San Diego native out of Morse High School. Slide step, and that one's outside from Richard. Well, the game began with an error. Lugo reaching on a two-base throwing error by Hairston. So the run scored by the Orioles is unearned. Any further runs would also be unearned. Now Richard trying to stop the damage right here.
Well, that pitch count also. This is the 23rd toss for Clayton.
Hits the inside corner and evens it up at 2-2. Right center field. Tony calling for it. Took 23 pitches, and Richard gives up an unearned run in the top of the first. And the Padres coming up. Charles Jr. Get more fruit in your diet with the Hawaiian teriyaki chicken sandwich. Into the bottom of the first inning. Kevin Millwood, 13-year veteran, pitching for the Orioles tonight.
How come I hear Kevin Millwood in 0-8 and it just doesn't sound right?
Just doesn't compute at all.
Well, the proof is in the pudding. And we take a look. You know, the ERA above 5 and the hits to innings pitched. More hits than innings pitched.
Starting pitcher profile brought to you by the all-new Cadillac SRX, the Cadillac of crossovers.
And I had a nice talk with pitching coach Rick Kranitz for the Baltimore Orioles. And he said the first 9 starts this year for Kevin Millwood were just spectacular starts. A little bit of no offense, no run support. And it falls into the old adage that, you know, a lot of these Oriole pitchers feel like they have to throw a shutout every time out to win a ball game.
Heck to the second baseman, Lugo. One gone, and here's the Padre lineup, brought to you by Alpine Rock and Block. Start your next backyard project with Alpine Rock and Block. After Eck, Headley, Adrian, Scott Hairston batting cleanup, then Torrealba, Venable, Jerry Hairston batting 7th, hitting .364 in his last 7. Then it's Anthony and Clayton Richard. Chase Headley back up in the 2 spot tonight after Denorfia hit there last night. Well, the first inning has been unkind to Millwood in his last 5 starts. He's allowed 15 runs in the first inning of his last 5 starts, including giving up 5 in the first on Sunday to the Mets, his last time out.
Yeah, that's a big key. Get him in the stretch in the first inning. You know, he doesn't throw as hard as he used to. As he missed with that breaking ball. That was a slider down and in for a ball. He also throws a fastball. He'll top out about 92. He's become more of a pitcher over the years, the 35-year-old. A curveball and a changeup.
Bounced up the first base line. Fair. And Chase not running. It's a 3-1 putout. That ball bounced behind the bag right near and on the line, according to Phil Cuzzy.
Remember, it's where the ball crosses the bag. It's not where it hits. You know, from our vantage point, it even looked like it hit on the line. Even if that ball is a little bit off the line in foul territory, remember, it's where the ball goes over the bag. You got to run that out. Have to run that out. Let the umpire make the call. Bust it out of the box. Hey, if it's a foul ball, you start over.
Tails outside, ball 1 to Adrian. Up over the 300 mark now. On base over 400. And a 7-game hitting streak coming in. Lays off and takes high 2-0.
Well, the one other thing that pitching coach Rick Kranitz said about Kevin Millwood was, you know, he pitched against Toronto recently, 4 starts ago. A lot of power in that lineup. Then he had the Yankees back-to-back. And with the way the Orioles are going and the way that the Blue Jays and Yankees are going, you know, it's going to be tough. Tough to win some ball games that way.
Yes, back-to-back starts against the Yankees. The numbers were almost identical. He went 5 2/3, 10 hits, 6 earned runs in each of the 2 starts.
Yep.
One was at Yankee Stadium. The other was at Camden Yards. And a 4-pitch walk to Adrian with 2 outs. And Millwood pitches around Gonzalez. Here's the O's defense. Brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Tejada is Turris, Lugo, and Wigginton on the infield with Adam Jones, the Gold Glover, in center. Scott and Markakis. And Matt Wieters catching.
Baltimore is pretty much in the middle of the pack when it comes to defense in the American League. Those 39 errors. Fewest errors, Minnesota Twins, 21. It's a pretty solid D up there in the northern part of St. Paul and Dad.
At Target Field, proving to be a pretty good pitcher's park, so defense is going to play a role, obviously, as well.
I'm happy for Minnesota to get their own digs.
Had to get out of the Metrodome.
Absolutely. Terrible yard.
You know, that means now, since the Metrodome is gone, that we are actually going to visit on the next road trip one of the few remaining artificial turf ballparks, and that's the left field. Luke Scott plays it on the bounce. So a base hit for Scotty Hairston, sending Adrian down to second, and the Padres have something going with 2 on 2 outs.
Hey, that's our rally start, right? Quick 2 outs. You pitch around your number 3 hitter, Adrian Gonzalez, and then Scott Hairston fights this one off. You know what Scotty does so well? You know, even though that's a duck snort to left, he gets his hands through so quickly by his chest to get that barrel of the bat out, even though it was down by the label. Very quick on the inside part of the plate.
So upstairs, Torey Alba. .267 average for your beat. Ball 1 is outside. Torey Alba hitting over 400 with runners in scoring position on the season. Right down central for a strike. Baltimore scored an unearned run in the top of the first. Padres trying to answer in the bottom half.
You know what also has been an Achilles heel for Millwood? The long ball.
Yeah, he's given up 19 on the year.
Oh, yeah. And this being his 15th start. If you're giving up one a year, if you're giving up one a start, that's, you take your chances that way.
Yeah, the 19 he's allowed the most in the majors. Right field base hit. Adrian will be stopped. But they've got the trailing runner Hairston in a rundown. Back to third. Adrian safe.
Oh, my goodness.
Now Hairston gets by and is able to get back to second. Well, confusion on the base pass and then some confusion with the rundown, and the inning will continue for the Padres. Then you saw Adrian creeping down the baseline. Time wasn't called. He was watching the baseball until it got back in the hands of Millwood.
My goodness. I thought I saw Glenn Hoffman holding up Adrian. Did you see the same thing?
Yes.
And then just running up the back end. Put up the big top, huh? And the Orioles, how they do not get an out. That just, surmises the whole season for the Orioles right there up to this point.
That was Wigginton, the first baseman, who had come over and actually tried to tag Hairston going back to second. He tagged him with his bare hand without the ball in there. So
you have to get an out there.
I think Millwood's probably asking Jerry Crawford, the second base umpire and crew chief, perhaps if Scotty was out of the baseline far enough to call it out there, but according to Crawford, he was not. So they're loaded with 2 outs. And Venable up.
Matt Wieters had to stay at home. He had the ball, right? And then he had to stay at home plate. He couldn't run at the runner because Adrian's at third base unless somebody backs up. Maybe Millwood would, go to the plate. So he had to throw the ball all the way down. You see something new every day, huh?
You don't often see a rundown with 3 men on base, do you?
You don't. It was just poorly executed. You have to get an out there. Well, let's take another look. Millwood was backing up. He was backing up home plate. So now all the tomfoolery starts, and then everybody's starting to direct. That was the key play right there. How did he get out of that mess, not getting tagged there? And the throw was too late.
Adrian did a nice job to time it where he got back to third just ahead of that throw that gave Scotty enough time to get close towards second. But then, Scott avoiding the tag of Wigginton was big.
You know what, another thing, though, another issue?
That's high to Will.
Sure, there were 2 outs. Adrian's running, who doesn't have blazing speed by any means. But, I think Scotty's got to realize that Adrian's in front of him, that the chances of him sending him are very slim.
Right.
Rather than running up his backside.
Foul pass first.
A little nugget on Will Venable. Working on a new stance.
Yeah, not as upright.
Not as upright. Working on being a little bit more athletic, a little bit more down in the crouch a little bit. Not a significant amount, but Randy Reddy was working with him before the game. And watching him taking some BP. Trying to get that big frame of his all in motion, more of a power. See how he, a little bit, just, it's not a lot.
Very subtle.
Yeah.
Full count. Well, Millwood retired the first 2 in this inning on ground balls, but Adrian walked on 4 straight pitches. Scott Hairston singled, Torrealba singled, the rundown muffed. And they're loaded with 2 outs. And a full count on Venable. That ties it up on a bases loaded walk. So Adrian scores to make it 1-1, and Venable, it's his 20th run batted in. Kranitz, the pitching coach, visits the mound.
2-out walk to Adrian Gonzalez, and the Padres have themselves a little bit of a rally here. I'm sure Adrian's going over that that base running display that the Padres had just a bit ago. Which way should I go? You look like a bobblehead going back and forth there.
Kyle Blank's bobblehead though tonight. Well, here's Jerry with a chance to quickly redeem himself.
How sweet would it be to, you know what I'm going to say, right?
I know exactly where you're going.
Kevin Millwood struggling right now. Walking Venable with the bases loaded. Now falling behind 1-0 to Jerry. He's given up a lot of home runs this year. 19, leads the American League.
Jerry sends it into center, and indeed, he does redeem himself with the go-ahead base hit. 1 run in, the second run, a slide, and it safely is Torrealba. 3-1 Padres as Jerry Hairston knocks in 2.
What a great looking swing. What a great at-bat by Jerry Hairston. Being patient. Millwood not around the plate. Ball 1, and that one is elevated. Nice, easy swing. Just taking what's given him and sending it right at the center of the diamond, and just like that. How about the 2-out rally by San Diego? Five hitters to the plate after 2 outs.
Knocked in Scott and Torrealba, so the first one, a Brobii. Cue the chart. There we go. For the Brobii counter.
Even at 1.
So now Jerry has driven home Scott. Tony had a great at bat in the 9th last night.
Yes, he did.
And unfortunately, it took a great play by the O's first baseman Wigginton, or else the game could have ended right there. He got the force out at the plate, and then, as it turned out, the next hitter, Adrian, did end the game. They'll tie to Gwynn, 3-0.
Tony's also got the great attitude, because before the game I said, hey, Junior, way to swing that bat, man. Atom bomb right at somebody, you know, made the play, Wigginton. He goes, hey, what can you do? Keep swinging. So I put a good swing on it. Well, 30 pitches for Millwood.
Yeah, that caught up to him in the hurry after retiring the first 2 in this inning. Richard wound up with 23 in the top of the inning, and that now takes it to a full count on Gwynn. There's the pitcher, Richard, on deck. Venable and Jerry Hairston will be off with the pitch. The fans fighting the glare.
They need the flip downs.
Well, 5 in a row reached with 2 outs before Millwood finally gets the third, and the Padres do score 3 and lead it by 2 at the end of 1. '14 and younger receive a Padres glove presented by Scripps and stay after the game. Play catch on the field. Get your tickets today at Padres.com. I don't know which I'm more obsessed with, the glove or actually folks getting to go onto the field and play catch.
How many people can say that they've been on a big league ball diamond and playing catch? I mean, it's, you know, playing out in the front yard with dad or mom.
But get to do it on a major league
Absolutely.
field. That's so cool. So make sure you come out tomorrow.
What was your first glove?
It was a Rawlings. And I'm trying to... that's bounced to third. And Headley throws out Wieters. You want to know who the signature was on the inside, right? The model? You know, I don't think it had one. I remember having a Doug Rader Wilson glove at one point. A whole bunch of different gloves.
You know who my first glove was autographed by? Kmart.
Kmart? That's quality, friend.
Mom and Dad couldn't afford a real glove.
Hey, you get to spend Father's Day with your dad tomorrow. That's good. Good to see the folks in from Joliet.
Very lucky. In town for Father's Day. It's nice.
At the 8th spot in the order, Cesar Izturis takes a strike on the outside corner. How long did you use the glove that you used for your high school baseball team? Did you use it at all?
All through my high school, all 4 years.
Did you use it at all in pro ball? Or did you?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I signed a glove contract, and my first glove contract was with McGregor.
McGregor, really?
Yeah. Got a set of golf clubs with that.
2-2 pitch to right field. Will Venable posting towards the line.
Look at that positioning.
He was shallow and towards the line, and Ricky Renteria's defensive charts come into play again there. Had him play perfectly.
Yeah, they've got those cheat sheets in their back pocket. The laminated cheat sheets, and Will does a fine job. You can see the long shadow, not directly behind him, so the sun really not affecting the Padre right fielder. It's more at an angle than in his eyes.
Millwood waves and misses. Of course, Millwood who spent the first 7, 8 years of his career in the National League with Atlanta and the Phillies, and had a number of at-bats in his career, but goes down quickly and quietly as Richard records his first strikeout. Down in order go the O's in the second. Up to Cancer by signing the Stand Up to Cancer wall here at Petco Park. You can also purchase a Padres Stand Up to Cancer patch at the Padres store or online. 100% of your patch purchase will go directly to cancer research. Visit Padres.com/SU2C to make a donation and learn how you can stand up to cancer. Kyle Blake's bobblehead night.
He doesn't have the bat in his hands. It's
yeah, they have to.
You have to screw it in
on
there. Yeah. It comes separately in the box, so it doesn't snap off. How you doing there, kiddo?
Blake takes up high for ball one. Two for 19, but does have 3 RBIs. Looks at a strike. Clayton usually gets a pretty good hack. And had a good rip right there at the 91-mile-per-hour fastball from Kevin Millwood.
You know, Kevin Millwood's one of those guys who can still give you close to 200 innings, 198 innings. Had 2/3 with the Texas Rangers last year.
He gets the strikeout, his second. And a 1 gone.
Well, Kevin Millwood uses a Rawlings glove, and look at that. That's, first of all, that's 80 pounds ago. And that's a McGregor glove when I was with the Giants when I first was, and then I signed a Wilson contract after that. And the shot right after that one was backing up third.
So that was a black glove.
That was, yeah.
Did you have a preference for the color of glove?
I thought black was pretty,
like that?
Pretty good color.
Here's the black glove. Who was the first hitter you remember using a black bat?
George Foster.
George Foster, exactly right. He's the first guy I remember using a black bat. Down the left field side by Eck, and it will drop in foul in the seats.
The reason why I remember that is because when I pitched against him when he was a New York Met later in his career, and he hit a rocket, one hopper at Shea Stadium to Johnny LeMaster, knocked him into left center field. He threw him out, but thank goodness it was right at him.
Strike on the outer half to Eck. George Foster, a guy that kind of gets overlooked of all the pieces of the Big Red Machine.
Great numbers.
That guy could mash.
Yes, he could.
Millwood's 1-2 pitch. Shallow right, Markakis in to make the play. Off the bat, looked like it had a chance to fall in there, but it hung up long enough for Markakis to get under it.
You know, even Eck last night, before the game today, was commenting on that 9th inning, and he was not amazed, but just so proud to talk about his teammates, how everybody contributed in one certain way last night, whether it was the bunt or whether it was. He said, "How about Jerry Harrison's at bat?" He goes, "Have you ever seen a guy stay on top, get on top of a ball like that?" Even Eck was mesmerized by it.
It really was amazing. One productive at bat after another. Really the only one, and not to pick on Nick, who's been hitting very well recently. Yeah. But Hundley's strikeout really was the only unproductive spot of what occurred in the 9th inning last night. Chase got that all going in the 9th last night with a walk. High fly to right. Markakis to the edge of the warning track and onto the track to make the catch to end the inning. Chase got under it just a bit too much, and the Padres go in order in the 2nd. Time for our legendary performance, brought to you by Cabot Wood Stains. Eddie Murray, the Hall of Famer, 287 batting average, over 500 home runs. And there he is on the right. Gary Thorne in the middle. And there's Hall of Famer Eddie Murray, part of the Orioles telecast.
I tell you what, I was like a little kid during batting practice, talking to number 22, the right-hander, Jim Palmer, and then number 33, the Hall of Famer, Eddie Murray. Talking on a big league diamond to 2 Hall of Famers. Big fan of both those guys, by the way.
0-2 pitch, punch down the right field line. That is fair. And it skips into the corner, and Lugo will have his first extra base hit of the season. A leadoff double.
That is unbelievable. The words just came out of your mouth.
Eddie Murray.
Look at that.
One of the best switch hitters of all time. Spent parts of 13 seasons, primarily as an O. Elected to the Hall of Fame in 2003. Also was Rookie of the Year. 8-time All-Star. 3 Gold Gloves. And yeah, he took Mark Grant deep a couple of times. That's his 500th home run, which did not come off Mark Grant. When you look at Eddie Murray's numbers, you know what the great thing about it is? Try to pick out his best season. And the thing is, it's really hard to do because they were all so consistently good.
That's right.
Great, really. Tejada tying run at the plate, and he's going to move the runner over to his left. Throws out Tejada, and to third goes Lugo.
And he had such great command of the strike zone. I'm talking about Eddie Murray. I mean, you would throw him a pitch maybe 2 or 3 inches off the plate, and he would take it. And, of course, he built up the reputation of being a great player, right? So if taken, it's a ball. And then you try to move that fastball, try to, just hit that outside corner, and next thing you know, he'd either put it out the opposite way. There's a guy who had tremendous power the opposite way as well.
Great Hall of Famer Eddie Murray. Markakis takes just off the outside corner. So you're saying that there are some pitches that are strikes to rookies that the veterans may get called a different way. Jim Palmer, also part of the O's telecast.
That guy. He is the best.
That is fair. Just rolled it past the bag at third. Lugo will score. Markakis headed for second. Throw by Scott Hairston. Not in time. And Markakis has driven in both the Oriole runs, and it's a 1-run game. Ball seemed to take forever rolling up the third base line, but it stayed fair and down the left field side.
But off the end of it, that ball nearly cued as we take a look. And just over the bag, the umpire at third base, Chris Guccione, doing a little dance down there, getting it out of the way.
Now the tying run in scoring position for Ty Wigginton. Ball one outside. Wigginton in the first. Hit one sharply past Adrian and into right field for a base hit. To third, up with it is Headley. Looks the runner back to second and throws across to get Wigginton. 2 outs.
Jim Palmer threw over 300 innings 3 times. And in 1978, he threw 296 innings. I take that back. He threw 300-plus innings 4 times.
Now you're looking at the numbers. Total number of innings.
3,948.
And in his career, never gave up a grand slam.
Yep, remarkable.
High strike to Luke Scott. Scott with a base hit to center in the first. Into center field. Markakis with the tying run headed home. Gwynn's throw to the plate. A little bit late, and the throw home allows Scott to take second. And the Orioles have tied it with 2 here in the third. It is 3-3.
Boy, the ball at the bat of Markakis just over the bag, a cue shot. Clayton Richard makes a good pitch. Good result for Markakis. And then Scott, the lefty on lefty, going up the center of the diamond. Ball didn't sound like it was on the sweet spot at all as we take a look at the pitch. The fastball away. Line drive up the middle. And the throw up the first baseline.
24th run batted in for Scott. Three hits in the inning for the O's, and center fielder Adam Jones standing in. Ball one low.
You know, there's a fine line between keeping the ball down and elevating the ball. We talked about that last road trip, I believe it was, talking about that. Just a matter of inches. Keeping the ball down and elevating the ball and getting hurt.
Jones flied to center in the first inning. 3 runs, 5 hits for the Orioles. Padres 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, which has led to an unearned O's run in the first. That, by the way, just the 3rd unearned run allowed by the Padres since April 17th. So the defense has been pretty stout. Another one fouled near the plate.
I think that does wonders also for the starters and the relievers to pound the strike zone. And, strikeouts will come. This team is known for striking out, right? I'm talking from the pitchers to opposing hitters. So have them put the ball in play. If they put the ball in play, chances are they're going to make the play behind you.
High fly to right, and Venable roams towards the line to make the catch. With the Orioles, we pick up 2 on 3 hits in Strandberg. We're at the midpoint of the third, and it's 3-3. Stop by and check out the latest offers on a brand new Honda Accord. And Cox high-speed internet. Ready for higher speed? Go to Cox.com. A beautiful Saturday night here in San Diego. Mark Neely with Mark Grant. And the home half of the third 3-3 game. Orioles and Padres in game 2 of this 3-game series. Millwood first pitch to Adrian, fouled back.
Only the second first pitch strike thrown by the righty Millwood this evening.
To the now 12 hitters he has faced. Adrian walked on 4 pitches and scored in the first.
The other one came at the first pitch of the game.
What a heck. Seven-game streak for Adrian. They did not retire him last night. He goes around on the off-speed pitch.
Looked like a high fastball. In fact, it was a hanging slider up and out of the zone, and Adrian just couldn't hold up. You commit. It looks like a fastball. And we've seen him take that fastball up, out the other way, right? Well, had a wrinkle in it and could not stop that swing.
Out of the zone with the curveball, and it's 2-2. Adrian last night, 3 for 3. He reached base all 5 times up. A couple of walks. Knocked in 2 of the 3 runs, including the game winner. They do have the overshift on. So the third baseman, Tejada, is basically playing at the shortstop spot. Is Turris, the shortstop, playing on the first base side of second. There's the shift. With this shift last night in the 4th inning, Adrian just kind of squirted one up the third base line for a base hit into left field.
And that's why you see a lot of breaking balls from Millwood to the lefty Gonzalez. Breaking balls away and then fastballs in. The breaking ball from a righty to a lefty, that's coming down and into the left-handed hitter, so a tendency to pull the ball.
It has gone to a full count. Roped it towards the alley in right center field. That's going to skip all the way to the fence before it's picked up by Markakis, and Adrian will stop at second with a leadoff double.
It's going to be one of those nights, partner.
Seen some offense. Adrian with his 13th two-base hit, and he's on to begin the third.
I think Millwood wanted the breaking ball down a little bit more and trying to induce that ground ball, and what Adrian does is splits the gap with that elevated breaking ball. A lot of soft stuff to Adrian that at bat.
Scotty singled and scored in the first. And the first pitch fastball is strike one. Jammed him at a foul tip into the mid of Wieters.
Hey, two fastballs. Millwood trying to challenge him second time around here. High fastball. And according to tracks, right on the line. Breaking ball. You know, Millwood's breaking ball just doesn't seem to be
crisp.
Crisp, nice. That's a good word. And also the location of it hasn't been right on where he'd like them to be.
Well, the Padres saw Millwood last year in interleague play when he was with Texas, and maybe you recall it differently than I do. He still looked like himself last year, pretty much, and that's up high.
Well, as I mentioned, he was a workhorse last year. 198 2/3 innings pitched at the age of 34. That was last year. Guy's pitched in 200 innings plus 5 times in his career.
It's Hairston looking with a fastball on the outer half. 3 punch-outs now for Millwood.
First 2 pitches of the at-bat, fastballs on the inner part of the plate. He threw the breaking ball, softened him up a little bit, and then just on the outside corner. That would be considered on the black, that fastball we just saw there.
See the numbers with runners in scoring position for Torrealba. They've been very good. He singled in this situation in the first. Adrian representing the go-ahead run is at second with 1 out in the Padres' third. Slider in that outside corner takes it to 0-2. Floated towards right near the line, and it drops in fair. Adrian had to make sure the ball was not going to be caught by Markakis, so he advances 90 feet to third. But Torrealba with another hit with a runner in scoring position. It doesn't drive him in. But your beat is 2 for 2 tonight.
Looks like Yorvik Torrealba is going to the David Eckstein School of 0-2 hitting. 0-2 pitch, and he fights it off. A little Sadahara. Oh, leg kick as well, huh? Yorvik from the right side. You see that?
Not quite as pronounced as the home run king of Japan.
Kickstart the rally here with 1 out.
Go ahead run Adrian at third. And with Torrealba at first, Venable at the plate, 1 out. Ball 1 darts outside. Williams took a bases loaded walk in the first. that brought in the first Padres run. With the rip, it comes up empty. There's the note on the board. He faced his dad Max one time and retired him, with the bases loaded. Popped up foul, and it's going to land in the Orioles dugout.
Two things shocked me there. One is me pitching with the bases loaded. That's a shocker. And then the other one is getting a guy out with the bases loaded. That's a shocker.
September 10th of '86, Reds at Candlestick. Do you recall that at bat?
I
Do you have that good a memory?
I don't. I'll be honest with you.
Millwood's 1-2. Breaks his bat, pops it up out of the short right center. Backing up Lugo, and the second baseman with the catch. Runners hold, 2 outs.
Well, broken bat, does he get in on him? Oh, yeah, it's a 4-seam fastball up and perfectly placed by Millwood. As I mentioned, Kevin Millwood, 35 years old, doesn't throw as hard as he used to when he was back with the Atlanta Braves back in the day. And of course, with the Philadelphia Phillies. So he's got to run that 2-seamer a little bit and work all the quadrants of the strike zone. He busted it in nicely there.
You mentioned his early days. Won 17 with the Braves in '98. Followed that with 18 wins the next year in '99, a team that went to the World Series. 18 with the Braves in '02. Went to the Phillies. Won an ERA title in the AL with Cleveland in '05 at 2.86. In fact, he was 8th in the American League in ERA last year at 3.67.
And that's pitching in Texas.
Yeah, in Arlington, which is one of the best hitters parks that there is. A high fly to right. And the second baseman, again, Lugo, crosses into foul territory to make the catch. So the Padres kept off the board despite the leadoff double by Adrian, and strand 2. To save on your Padres tickets, you can now save $5 on Padres tickets, $14 or more when you buy your tickets online. So be sure to get your tickets today and save at Padres.com.
It's a great way to save. You do the math, right? You buy 4 tickets, you save $20, right?
Pretty good math for you right there. It's not bad. Can't remember pitching to Max Venable back in the 80s, but
Nope.
still got the basics down.
The 80s were a blur anyway.
You still have all the Mr. CDs in your Yugo, though. Bottom of the order to face Clayton Richard in the Orioles' fourth. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, Clayton Richard has done a fine job holding the bottom of the order for the Orioles in check. 0 for 5. Jones on down.
Softly to third. Barehanded by Headley. Throw to first in time.
Nice. He has done a fine job over there at third base, Chase Headley. And you know what? The hard work pays off. Spring training, he was over on that half field, day in and day out, working with Glenn Hoffman. And, you know, and I remember Chase saying, you know, in spring training, I really didn't get a lot of chances on balls like that.
Yeah, just through the winds of the game, he just didn't have many chances in the spring training exhibition season.
There's Glenn Hoffman, happy coach, happy third base coach.
Switch hitting shortstop. Cesar is Torres, looks at it low. As Torres fly to right, his first time up. There's a strike. As Torres, now 30 years old, was a 2005 National League All-Star while he was with the Dodgers. Won a Gold Glove with the Dodgers the year prior to that in 04. That's the third. Big hop into the mid of Headley and across for out number 2. High Definition is brought to you by Irving Hughes. Life is a lease. Negotiate well.
Beautiful shot, huh?
Great shot of the Big Bay.
Great day for sailing. I think that
takes you away.
That's Bill Center's boat right there. He's skippering that boat right there.
There's Bill.
Good man, Bill Center.
You know, he got hit by a foul ball in that spot a few weeks ago.
It ruined his computer. His computer went on the DL. He had to get a new one. Call one up from the minors.
Fortunately, Bill did not have to go on the DL. He's fine.
No.
There's an 0-2 to Kevin Millwood. Late on the fastball, he strikes out. 2 Ks for Richard, both have come at the expense of his counterpart. Hey fans, there's still time to help send your favorite Padres to the 2010 All-Star Game, and you can receive 20% off 2-for-1 Padres tickets when you vote online at least 25 times at Padres.com. Remember to vote early and often for your San Diego Padres at Padres.com.
Oh, look at the park of the park is just jumping. Great night to bring a blanket and some food and hang out.
Good night at the yard. Kyle Blake's bobblehead night tonight. 3-3 game heads into the Padre fourth, and Tony Gwynn leading off. Tony, a strikeout victim to end the Padres' first inning. Lifted to left. Luke Scott in a few steps. Time for tonight's MLB comparison, brought to you by the San Diego County Toyota dealers. In 1971, the Orioles had 4 pitchers with 20 wins on their staff: Mike Cuellar, Pat Dobson, that man Jim Palmer, and Dave McNally. Just to compare, the Padres have had 3 20-game winners in their team history. Actually, they've had 2 because Randy Jones has done it twice. And one time Gaylord Perry. So 2 different guys,
right,
but 3 times.
And that's back in the day when they had 4-man rotations. You know, you were pitching every... it wasn't a 5-man rotation. It was a 4-man rotation. Talking about Jim Palmer and those Orioles.
Clay Richard on the ground, right side, and Lugo unable to get to it. And Clay Richard has his 3rd base hit of the season.
You talk about slow motion. This breaking ball down and in. 18 hopper through the right side, but Clayton Richard will take that. Okay, more like a 5 hopper.
Top of the order, second baseman David Eckstein. That drops low for ball 1. Eck in the first grounded out to second, and in the second inning flied out to right. Foul past third.
You know, Mark, elaborating on that Orioles nugget we just had regarding the 20-game winners.
The 4 20-game winners.
Mike Cuellar, 38 games started. Dobson, 37 games.
That kicks to the right of Wieters, but not far enough for Richard to try to advance.
Jim Palmer, 37 games started, and then McNally, 30 games started. So Mike Cuellar, 2 starts shy of 40 starts on the year. Now guys are like, 32, 33-ish.
Richard takes off, and the bat splinters into several pieces, and part of it got Wieters.
That bat just exploded.
Wieters looks to be all right. And there's a number of pieces of that bat around home plate.
You see Eck trying to go the other way. The ball hits down by the label. Oh. Wow. I counted 3 big pieces. Right?
And a couple of smaller ones, yeah. Skies a high fly to left center. Adam Jones tracks it down. 2 gone. They won all those games in '71, but did not win the World Series.
That's right.
They did win it the year before in 1970. They beat the Reds.
Pirates went up in 71, didn't they?
They did. That's when Clemente really had his last great showcase.
And wasn't that the game 7, when Steve Blass pitched the complete game?
Right. But the Orioles really were a dynasty. Late 60s, early 70s. You know, Earl Weaver took over during the 1968 season. And even before that, you know, they won the World Series in '66, swept the Dodgers. Hank Bauer was their manager at that time, so that was prior to Weaver taking over. But Weaver won 100-plus games 5 times, including 3 times in a row.
The Earl of Baltimore.
But now the Orioles, in the midst of 12 consecutive losing seasons, their last winning season was 1997 under Davey Johnson, when they won the American League East. The appeal down to Chris Guccione.
You could really see what Millwood's trying to do this evening. Righties and lefties alike, just trying to pound the strike zone, both sides of the plate. Sinkers into the righties, fastballs away to the lefties. Backdoor breaking ball. Where did that miss? Thank you very much. Pretty good slider.
I think the veteran wanted this backdoor slider badly.
Well, let's take a look. That's a good pitch.
Two count on Headley. With the pitcher Richard at first and 2 outs. 3-3 scoring here in the 4th.
Fastball away. Change up. Curveball. Trying to backdoor the curveball here to Headley. And a dandy.
4th strikeout for Millwood. And the Padres strand Richard.
Your budget with the Murray Lampert Construction Design Build Package. Get online and visit MurrayLampert.com.
Top of the order, and Lugo, first pitch swinging, drops it into right center field. Tony cuts it off and will hold him to a leadoff single. Well, Lugo, who had not had an extra base hit all season, trying to make it back-to-back extra base hits after doubling in the 3rd. It'll settle for a leadoff single in the 5th.
Well, Tony does a fine job of, first of all, getting into this baseball and then twirling and spinning quickly to get in a good throwing position. We take a look. Elevated fastball. Tony catch it, plant glove. Always turn towards your glove hand side. Does that make sense?
Sure it does.
Because your momentum starts going that way and you get more on the throw. Tony did a fine job getting that ball back into the infield.
Third baseman Miguel Tejada is 0 for 2 tonight. He did advance a runner with a ground out his last time up and fly to right his first time. Another throw over, and he's got him in the rundown. Lugo chased towards second by Adrian and is tagged out by Jerry Hairston, and that's how you execute the rundown.
Perfectly executed. Thank you, Mark Neely. 1 to 2 throws max. Pickoff, one of the better ones in baseball. Sorry, got to go. Okay, what do I do now? Well, one throw, give it up. Going back to the original base he started from. Lugo's caught in between. Okay, I'm going to try my best to get out of this mess. And not a chance when they execute it like that. Nicely done. That's the 1-3-6 play, right?
That's how it goes in the scorebook, my friend. Tejada, a rip and a miss. 6-time All-Star Miguel Tejada, 4 times in the American League, a couple times in the NL. One of the most valuable player in the American League with Oakland in 2002. He had a chance to win an MVP with the Orioles in 2004, his first stint with the O's, when he had .311 with 34 homers and 150 RBIs, but finished 5th in the AL MVP vote that year, which was won by Vladimir Guerrero, then of the Angels. Check swing and a ball away.
Does it look like to you Clayton Richard has been getting some pitches up?
A few more than normal,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Because, you know, when we talk about him in the pregame show and feature his stuff,
reach the seats.
He is just pounding the strike zone at the knees, into the righties, you know, away to the lefties.
Well, you look at his line for his starts this season. Really, none of them stick out as ugly. I mean, there's only one that he's allowed more than 3 runs, and that was against Washington. He gave up 4. But usually it's 2 or 1 run.
Yeah.
He has given up 3 tonight, 1 of those unearned.
Haven't seen many changeups tonight also, have we? Or maybe he's added a little bit more velocity to the changeup, just a little bit less than the fastball. But that last pitch, there was a changeup. I'll tell you what, speaking of changeups, did you see Steven Strasburg's last start?
Portions of it?
His changeup. It's unbelievable.
Well, you couple that with his fastball, and it just gets to be unfair.
And then his breaking ball is just electric. But they slow it down. They showed his grip. He used the circle change grip, and he just throws the heck out of it. 91-mile-an-hour changeup from Strasburg.
Off the end of the bat, but still pulls it to the left side, rolled over on it, and Headley goes out to Tejada. 2 gone. The Orioles held to 2 runs last night. This leaderboard brought to you by Los Primos Mexican Food. 18 Southern California locations, home of the Monster Burrito. And most games scoring 2 runs or less this season. It is the O's. Last night was their 31st. They have exceeded that, though, already tonight.
You know how they break down innings as far as runs scored per inning? We talked about it last night, how the Orioles have been outscored in every inning, 1 through 9.
With the exception of extra innings?
Right. Well, the run they scored in the first inning tonight, when Lugo crossed home plate, that was the this is unbelievable. Only the 25th run that they've scored in the first inning in game number
68. Just missing to Markakis. Markakis with a sac fly in the first and an RBI double and a run scored in the third. Fouled back. Up to 76 pitches for Clay Richard. Clayton, who's gone 7 innings in 6 of his last 7 starts. Battling the high pitch count here. Relatively high pitch count here in the top of the 5th. Three-two. Got him. Foul tip into the mid of Torrealba. Third strikeout for Richard in his first against someone other than Millwood. We're at the midpoint of the 5th, tied up. Coors Light Cold Heart Blast. Brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. And Adrian Gonzalez into last night's game. 8th walk-off win for the Padres. He won it 3-2. Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. And Adrian will lead off the 5th. In fact, they haven't gotten him out yet in this series. 3 for 3 with 2 walks last night. 1 for 2 with a double and a walk tonight. So on base 7 consecutive times in the series.
Hey, I know it's only June 19th.
And they're going to get him for the first time in the series. A slow roller for the first out.
I was just going to say, Adrian's been putting up some pretty good numbers for Player of the Month candidate. Still got a ways to go.
And another 11 days. Dodgers were beaten at Fenway today 5-4. Manny hit a home run. That's been an interesting dynamic to watch Manny Ramirez's return to Boston.
Cuteness sighting.
Toronto shut out the Giants today 3-0, and right now the Rockies are trailing the Brewers 2-1, the only non-interleague game. So
wow. So everybody in the division, right? With the exception of obviously this game's still going on, lost, right?
Right. Yeah, well, everybody in the race right now. Arizona
right.
did beat Detroit 6-5, but yeah, the team's in it. That's hit foul by Scotty. Try to make it a good night here.
Yeah.
A really good night. They can take game 2 of this series with the Orioles. You know, the Rockies now without Troy Tulowitzki.
Yeah, broken wrist, right?
Right, and you look at the Rockies, they've really had some significant injuries this season. Hairston Sends a high fly left field. Scott now getting on his horse, but the shortstop calling for it, and his Turris makes the catch. Usually you see the outfielder call off the infielder, but his Turris stayed with it.
Well, you know what? Luke Scott was concentrating on the baseball. His Turris, see, with the palm extended. Did you see him yelling anything? Could you see him yelling anything?
I didn't see anything verbally. I saw the hand out, and then.
You see, that's why you have to yell, because Scott's concentrating on the baseball. He can't look down, flash look to see that his hand's extended, saying, "Hey, I've got it."
There had to have been some kind of verbal.
You know what's amazing about like kids? And you'll know what I mean after this pitch here. Kids can be loud and obnoxious, right? We all know that. You get them on a baseball field, how come they won't scream and yell that I've got the fly ball? And, oh, look, Scott's saying, I got it, I got it, I got it.
Oh, they both were.
Yeah, they both were. Yeah, you're right.
I think they were canceling each other out.
You get kids on a baseball field and a pop fly like that, they're afraid to yell and scream, I've got it. Get them in a room with their buddies, different story.
Well, both were communicating, but simultaneously.
Mm-hmm. Look at the orange glove. See the orange glove that Luke Scott was wearing?
Going with the team colors there, is he?
Looks like it.
Foul tip and a 2-1 count. There it is.
What the Caltrans is going on there? That's a sweet looking glove. No, I don't think that's an orange glove. I just think that's the color of the tan leather.
Mm-hmm. Popped up. And the catcher Wieters in foul territory. So that is now 5 in a row. And 8 of the last 9 retired by Millwood. Singer for the Village people, leading everybody in the YMCA.
And look at the Yahoos. Look at Big Frank, and look at Lips DeRocher there in the headdress, and then Jumbo Ron with the fake Walt Disney mustache and the construction helmet getting into the YMCA.
Victor Willis, lead singer of the Village people, here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Victor has left the building. 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the O's. Wigginton has singled and grounded to third. He runs inside, and it is 3-0.
Remember, we talked about Clayton Richard going 7 innings. quite consistently.
4-pitch walk. That is the first walk allowed by Clayton Richard.
6 out of the last 7 outings. Clayton Richard has gone 7 innings, up to 82 pitches for the lefty. Now what he has working for him right here in this situation, obviously the move to keep that runner close to first base, and lefty on lefty, maybe work a grounder here to get a double play.
Wigginton on. It's the 4th time in the game that the Orioles have put the leadoff hitter on base. Check swing, strike one to Luke Scott. The Orioles left fielder has singled twice, including driving in a run in the 3rd.
Scott's grounded into 4 twin killings this year. That being in over 190 at-bats.
Foul tip. And it's 0-2. Remember earlier in the game when Wigginton was nearly picked off. He was getting his secondary lead and got back to first. Watch Wigginton now. He is not getting a very big lead off of first at all. He is playing it conservatively.
Good breaking ball.
And he strikes out Scott. 4th strikeout for Clayton.
This ball looks like, from our angle, it ends up off the plate, but it starts on the inside part of the plate. So tough for a left-handed hitter to lay off that pitch. You know, the one right at you, you've got a chance to swing and hit on the breaking ball. The one that starts toward the middle in, or maybe it's tough to lay off that because you know eventually it's probably going to end up off the plate.
Quick throw over to try to get Wigginton. What you noticed on that last pitch to the plate, Wigginton, he didn't get any secondary lead at all.
Flat-footed at first base.
Right. He didn't make any kind of move until the ball left the hand of Richard to the plate.
Yeah, he's going back.
Yeah,
even
exactly.
Yep.
He is taking no chances over there.
Well, he's perplexed. He goes, I don't want to get picked off. I'm not going to take a secondary lead. And I'm the go-ahead run.
Just off the outside edge to Jones.
And it goes back to a point I've made for years. As a left-hander, you have to work on that move.
Shouldn't you make that one of your strong points? Every left-hander?
I don't think there's an excuse that.
Hit high and deep to left field. Hairston watches it sail into the second deck. 9th of the year for Adam Jones. And the San Diego native has given the Orioles a 5-3 lead. '25th and 26th RBIs for Adam Jones.
Well, I think it was a breaking ball. It was a breaking ball. A little slider, not a lot of tilt, just kind of rolled up there, and Clayton Richard knew it as soon as it was hit. And once again, another pitch that was up and in, speeding up the bat of Jones. Upper tank.
Just the 6th home run that Clayton Richard has allowed this season. Wieters rolls it out to Jerry Hairston. 2 gone. That is, though, now 3 consecutive starts that Clayton has allowed a home run. He gave up 1 to the Mariners his last time, 1 at Citi Field to the Mets 2 starts ago, and now 1 here to Adam Jones. Hey. Turris hits one sharply right through the box and into center field.
Well, that home run kind of sucks the life out of this home crowd here at Petco Park, huh? Still plenty of baseball left, though. My goodness. Buddy Black examining the lineup card.
Millwood, the pitcher.
Clayton Richard due up fourth. Pitcher spot due up fourth next half inning in the sixth for San Diego.
Strike call. The most pitches that Richard has thrown in an outing this season. 111 in his last start. This will be his 94th pitch.
And it looks like there's some stirring in the Padre bullpen as well. A couple of people up on their feet. I see a jacket off in that bullpen as Ryan Webb looks like the big right-hander is getting up. There he is.
Boy, he's been pitching well.
Yes, he has.
Check swing, and he went around. So Millwood strikes out for a third time. Pitcher spot due up fourth. The Padres come up in the last of the inning. .com for ceiling fans. Go to Fan Diego. On top of the Western Metal Building tonight. Nice crowd on hand for this Saturday night affair between the Orioles and Padres. Six, 7, and 8 batters for San Diego in the sixth. Now a 2-run lead for the Orioles thanks to the Adam Jones 2-run homer in the top of the inning. Venable, Jerry Hairston, and Tony Gwynn scheduled. And in the pitcher spot, due up fourth. Will with a bases loaded walk in the first, driving in a run, and then the third popped out to the second baseman Lugo. Kevin Millwood looking for his first win of the season.
Unbelievable to hear that on June 19th.
Here in his 15th start of the year. He has a 5-3 lead in the bottom of the sixth.
You know, going into this game for the Orioles, There are 5-19 versus left-handed starters. I know they're not faring too well overall, but that was just a little nugget that was in the stat pack. 5-19.
Wave and a miss, and it's a full count. Millwood has retired 5 in a row. 8 of the last 9 Padre hitters. Fouled away by Venable. Left-hander Hendrickson is up in the Orioles bullpen. Former NBA player.
Yeah.
Mark Hendrickson.
76ers, right? One of the teams?
Yeah, I think that's one that he's suited up for. Oh, wave and a miss at that 92-mile-per-hour fastball. And Millwood rebounds after falling behind 3-0 to Venable and comes back to get the strikeout. Time for our Coors Light Freeze Cam, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. And last night in the night, how Jerry Hairston Jr. got on top of that high fastball from David Hernandez. Pretty incredible. That was the first hit of the night for the Padres after Headley had walked to lead off the inning. Here comes Jerry now.
You know what else I thought was weird about that play? Did you see the dive attempt by Lugo on that?
He slid and stopped.
He didn't extend himself. He kind of like slid on his knees and tried to.
Came up short on it.
Yeah.
Jerry trying to bunt his way on and fouls it.
Let's take a look back at Lugo at second base. Watch. He doesn't extend the glove, doesn't extend his body to try to either glove it cleanly or at least knock it down in front of him. I don't know, maybe he thought he had no chance. Well, only he knows, right?
Right. Lugo's had a big night tonight. He scored twice. A couple of hits, including his first extra base hit of the season. 0-2. Fouled off. Hairston drove in 2 with a single in the first, and in the third fouled out. Right at the third baseman, Tejada. Stretched down the line by Wigginton, 2 outs. Well, Millwood now nearing 100 pitches. He is at 97. He has thrown as many as 119. Actually threw 120. Back on May 18th against the Royals, threw 119 2 starts ago against the Yankees on June 8th. Tony 0 for 2. Strike 1 hits the outside corner. A strikeout victim in the first, and in the fourth he flied to left. Inside outs it down the third base side. A long run along the line, and it drops a couple of feet foul. Tejada, Turris, and Scott all in the vicinity. But it lands foul and an 0-2 count.
Well, 0-2. Let's see what Kevin Millwood chooses to throw. Tony Gwynn Jr. Fastball in. How about a curveball? He made a nice pitch to Chase Headley earlier on that 0-2 curveball.
Tried to backdoor it, too. Well, Tony Gwynn Jr. homered last year off Millwood. This began the game in Arlington last season. Down the right field line. First career home run for Jr.
What was Adrian doing?
It sounded like he said, find the ball.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
And out into center field, base hit for Gwynn. See if we can read lips again.
Yeah, good call, Mark Neely, as Adrian Gonzalez. Hey, get the ball. Is that what he's saying?
I think it's so. Yeah, he's saying, hey, get the ball. Hey, base hit for Tony. Padres 19-7 this year when Gwynn gets a hit. He's 1 for 3 tonight, and Cunningham will bat with the pitcher Clayton Richard. Cunningham got the start in right field in game 1 of this series last night. Had a couple of hits. Went 2 for 4. And scored the game-winning run in the 9th.
So you can close the book on Richard.
Yeah, 6 innings. He gives up 5 runs, which is the most runs he's allowed in a start this season. And the most since he gave up 6 September 7th of last year at San Francisco. One of the runs Clayton allowed was unearned, the first inning run. Check on Tony, who has swiped 9 bags in 11 attempts. Orioles have a 2-run lead thanks to an Adam Jones homer in the top of the inning.
You know, Millwood's been getting some pitches up as well. Some of the sliders haven't been sliding. You can see there's a breaking ball there out of the zone. Maybe, you know, the guy's a horse, let's face it. As you mentioned earlier, he's thrown as many as 120 pitches. He can rack up the innings. But still, as we look at pitch 104 outside, maybe want Cunningham to fish after that one. But all it takes is one hanger. And we know the strength of Aaron Cunningham. Fastball up.
Orioles have had the lefty Hendrickson getting loose in the bullpen. Base hit by Tony into the string of 7 in a row, retired by Millwood. He pours in a strike, and it is full.
Hey, pitcher's pitch there, 3-1. Millwood trying to dot that outside corner knee high. That's exactly where he put it. Cunningham was looking something out over the plate, middle in, maybe to jerk out of the ballpark. But Millwood made a pitcher's pitch.
Jones scoots over into right center field. Padres strand their 6th base runner. We played 6. O's lead it by 2. Footlongs taste like a fortune, but they're still just $5. So many favorites like Blazing Buffalo Chicken. $5 all day, every day. Subway, eat fresh. And by Cox Advanced TV. Ready for more choices? Go to Cox.com. Saturday night in San Diego, 5-3 Orioles into the top of the 7th. And to face the top of the order into the Padre pen, out comes Ryan Webb.
Some great numbers for the big right-hander. Look at that ERA. Fewer hits than innings pitched. And Ryan Webb has proven that he can throw good strikes. Only 7 walks in 23 and a third innings pitched. Only a 171 opponent's batting average. Why do you see those numbers? Well, he's aggressive in the strike zone, and everything out of this guy's hand moves. And it's not a soft thrower out there. This guy gets up 96, 97 miles an hour. Just another one of those great arms out of the bullpen for Bud Black and pitching coach Darren Balsley. And it's games like this, Mark Neely, where you hold him to 2 runs and Ryan Webb can possibly walk away with a victory tonight.
He's in a big spot right here.
He
trying
is.
to keep it a 2-run game. And facing the top of the order, Lugo, Tejada, and Markakis in the Orioles 7th. And the first pitch is a slider. Strike 1. Two hits and 3 at-bats for Lugo. 2 runs scored.
Look at that. That's nasty.
95.
That's bringing the two-seamer back to the righty on righty, right? That's Greg Maddux like, only Maddux through 84, 85. That's 96. And then the hammer.
Around. Strikeout of Lugo. Time for our comparison. Brought to you by the San Diego County Toyota dealers. Look at the lowest opponent batting average for NL relievers this season. And Gregerson's atop that with the lowest opponent batting average. 2 more Padres, though. Mike Adams and Ryan Webb on that list.
That's awesome.
Well, look at the movement on that fastball. And as you mentioned, just a slight adjustment in the arm slot has made all the difference for Ryan Webb.
Just bringing it down a little bit.
Tejada 0 for 3 and rips it down the left field line foul. A ball and 2 strikes.
You know, it always amazes me. I don't see how hitters hit off guys like Webb. Guys
just because of the movement?
It just the velocity, the movement. It's just something that I scratch my head to all the time. I don't see how hitters do it. I really don't. I mean, hitting a straight fastball is tough enough already.
Goes to the breaking ball and it's low. You know what that reminds me of, though? There were some guys, you would see him throw a bullpen, and the stuff starting all over the place. And then they get in the game,
kind of stiffen up a little bit.
And they wouldn't have that same kind of movement. But it's bouncing all over the place for Webb.
Some guys, and that you bring up a good point, some guys aren't as free and easy as they are in the bullpen as they are when the hitter gets in there, the catcher and the umpire, and it's game on. The lights are on you. Hey, a lot of no-hitters been thrown in the bullpen. A lot of nasty stuff in the bullpen. It's
did you throw a couple down there?
Oh, yeah. It's like the the 430 hitters. Guys who can hit at 430. Once 705 rolls around, though, it's a different story.
On the 3-2 pitch, Tejada chases. He's angry at himself. That ball was down, but again, it had a lot of movement on it. Left Tejada shaking his head.
My goodness.
Look at that. How do you lay off that?
That's 90. And there's the arm angle you're talking about, Mark. Low 3/4. They just get tremendous extension, good rotation on that 95-mile-an-hour sinker.
You know, that ball started thigh high and wound up, you know, at the ankles. So back-to-back strikeouts for Webb, and the bases are empty for right fielder Nick Markakis. Now low ball one. Markakis has knocked in 2 of the 5 Baltimore runs. The first came on a sac fly in the first inning, and he doubled in a run in the third. On the ground is short, and Jerry Hairston Jr. Webb has a quick 11-pitch inning, retiring the side in order. And it's time to stretch at Petco. Seventh inning, stretch your dollars. Get more MPG and the assurance of America's best warranty. Go to San Diego Hyundai Dealers.com. New hurler for the Orioles. Left-hander Will Ullman.
Will Ullman pitched in last night's game. In the 8th inning, he did not record an out. He walked one hitter. That was Adrian Gonzalez. That was his one job. He's their left-handed specialist. And the Orioles have had a trifecta of guys who've tried to close for them. They've had Simone, Hernandez, Will Ullman at one time was their closer. He is now their situational left-hander out of the pen.
Yeah, their primary closer, Mike Gonzalez, has been hurt all year.
Well, you know what? That's a big void. You talk about Brian Roberts.
Mike Gonzalez, who they hope, and they hope to have each of those guys back in about a month or 6 weeks, but they've been out all year. On the outside corner to Eck. Top of the order in the Padres 7th. The Orioles lead 5-3. Adam Jones' 2-run homer in the 6th snapped a 3-all tie. Up the middle and through. A leadoff base hit for David Eckstein, who now has a 5-game hitting streak.
Look at Rick Renteria put the headlock on Eckstein, giving him the signs and the situation as Eck takes his fastball down away, hitting down on that ball nicely into center field for a safety. There it is. Rick Renteria getting in.
Is that the sleeper hole?
Yeah.
Chase to left. It's got topspin on it, though, and it's caught by Luke Scott. Boy, right off the bat, it looked like it had some possibilities. But Headley flies to left for the first out. Now the tie runs at the plate in the person of Adrian Gonzalez. Holman misses inside. Five runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Orioles. Padres 3 runs, 8 hits, and an error.
Ooh.
Just missing maybe a hair low on the slider from Omen.
You know, Adrian may have caught a break there. That was a good breaking ball from Will Omen.
It's over for a strike. 2-1.
It's the 35th appearance for Will Allman. He's tied for first in the American League.
Adrian up the middle, and with the shift, there was his Turris, and they turned 2. So a 6-3 double play, and we've played 7. More doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And the shift. You have the shortstop, his Turris right there behind the bag, and they turn the easy 6-3 double play. First double play turned on either side tonight. Big play for Omen and the Orioles there. Four, 5, and 6 part of the order in the Baltimore 8th. Leading off his cleanup hitter, Ty Wigginton, the first baseman. First pitch swinging. A late break, but Tony has time to come in, get under it, and make the catch. One pitch, 1 out in the 8th.
You know, Marco, you and I were talking in between innings. You know, we talk about the Harrison brothers, Scotty and Jerry. We talk about Tony Gwynn Jr., obviously. William Venable, the son of Max Venable. But you know what? We don't talk enough about Ryan Webb.
He's a legacy.
His dad, Hank, pitched in the big leagues for 7 years, 6 years.
A lot with the Mets.
Yeah, and a year with the Los Angeles Dodgers back in 1977. Pitched in 53 games in his career, started 19 of them. Pretty cool.
A lot of legacies on the Padre team.
Yeah.
And Venable in there now, both Hairstons and Tony. We got 5 guys on the field right now whose dads played in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Here it is Father's Day tomorrow.
Pretty cool.
Yep.
Very cool.
Left fielder Luke Scott, 2 out of 3 with an RBI single in the 3rd. It's fouled off the mask at Torrealba. That one rattled his cage. Watch and listen. So you want to be a catcher?
Man.
Shake out the cobwebs.
Oof. If you were a catcher, would you wear the traditional mask or the hockey style?
Well, either one. You remember the day when they just used to take the regular cap and turn it around?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, if he was just wearing a regular cap, he'd be on the ground right now. Breaking ball outside.
Yeah, you get a bat back then when they just wear their caps backwards. You get a bat on the backswing.
Bad scene there, yeah. Webb's 2-2 to Scott.
You know what?
Outside in a full count.
That'd be a good trivia question. And there's one guy that comes into mind. The first catcher to wear a protective helmet, and I'm just taking a guess, Bob Boone. Maybe?
That's a pretty good answer.
Remember, he had the helmet. It wasn't a batting helmet turned backwards. It was a helmet made just like a skull cap.
Just
almost.
to fit on top.
Just to fit on top.
That's fouled back. You know, Bob Boone was here recently, scouting. You know, he's still living not far from here, north of town.
I'm trying to think of catchers before him.
Notice the umpires, though, they are still wearing that soft cap. Up the middle and into center, and Luke Scott has his 3rd hit.
Well, Jorvik Torrealba behind the plate. You talk about taking some knocks. And there's a reason why they call them the tools of ignorance. You are just getting beat up back there. Takes a special person and a special mentality to put that stuff on and get behind there.
Patterson is going to run for Scott and most likely stay in the game and take over in left field. Here's Adam Jones. His home run in the 6th is the difference right now. He hit one into the second deck in left field. 9th of the season. Strike. Low strike.
Well, it's been kind of an up and down night as we take a look at the slinky. Very cute.
Wipe away the slobber. I've got to do that with mud a few times a night.
Stay clear. Hey, you know the first guy to wear the hockey style catcher's mask?
Charlie O'Brien?
Charlie O'Brien.
Patterson takes off, and Torrealba loses the handle on it. So an uncontested steal for Patterson, his 10th of the season.
You know, Torrealba had a tough pitch to handle. Not only does Ryan Webb throw hard, but this is a breaky ball. As we take a look, decent jump. And look at the pitch. And that ball starts thigh high and then ends up down nearly going into the dirt.
Line into center field and a base hit. Patterson around third. Gwynn makes a throw to the plate, and he is going in, standing up and out. Well, Patterson elected not to slide. Torrealba tags him, and Gwynn guns him out from center, and it stays 5-3.
I mean, that's a huge play. That's a huge out for San Diego. But I've got a question for you as we take a look at this play unfold. Tony comes up firing, a perfect one-hopper. And whatever happened to guys running down the third base, and I don't like to see anybody get hurt, but there's a stumble there. Whatever happened to guys just barreling into catchers when they're teed up like that?
And you don't see it very often.
You never see it.
Not that we want Torrealba to get run over.
Absolutely. I'll be quite frankly, he's our guy. I don't want to see him get leveled, but that was the perfect opportunity for Patterson. Or even slide.
Off the glove of Torrealba, and Jones over to third. So Orioles still have a shot here to add on with 2 outs in the 8th. It's a pass ball towards a charge to Torrealba.
I mean, why didn't he slide?
Good question.
You got to slide on that.
1-0 Wieters. Wieters has grounded out 3 times. Changes speeds and in at the knees. Left center field, Tony has it measured. 2 scoreless innings of relief for Ryan Webb, thanks to the throw of Gwynn, and it stays 5-3. Immediately following the game right here on Channel 4 San Diego, Sequan Casino, San Diego's Daycation Getaway. And Jenny Kavnar and Bob Scanlon in the studio tonight. The third O's pitcher of the game, Jason Birkin.
We saw Birkin last night. He came in the 7th inning and a third. He gave up 1 hit. He struck out a Padre. And if you need a refresher course, 4-pitch pitcher, Fastball, slider, curve, and a change. Get up to 94 on that fastball.
Corey Patterson stays in the game in left field. Padres left fielder Scott Hairston takes a high strike. We're in the bottom of the 8th. 5-3 Orioles. Baltimore scored an unearned run in the first. The Padres scored all of their runs, all 3 in the first. The bases loaded walk to Venable. Jerry Hairston, a 2-run single, made it 3-1. The Orioles tied it with 2 in the third. Markakis an RBI double and Scott an RBI single made it 3-3. And then Adam Jones untied it in the 6th with a 2-run homer into the second deck and left. Reaching, he strikes out. He'll be out left center on the Icon apartment building. Got the fire pits going.
Oh, yeah. Looks like a good time, huh?
Checking out the game.
Great surroundings here at Petco Park, no doubt. You don't even have to be in the park to experience the park and have a good time.
No, you really don't. There's so many good spots.
You know what's cool?
Vantage points.
What's cool is, like, if you're in and around the area outside the park, you're watching a TV. Well, how cool is it to hear the cheer off in the distance as you're watching it on TV?
Busy night at Park in the Park. 2-0 on Torrealba. The guy hugging Tony's right leg.
Such a great statue. That's great work right there.
3-0.
Hey, remember the look on Tony's face when that thing was revealed? He was just like, oh my gosh. That's a good seat up there also.
A strike on 3-0. Torrealba grounds it to short, and his Turris to his left. 2 away. Burkett was a starting pitcher last year for the Orioles. 24 starts, went 6-12 with 6.54 ERA. Former 6th-round pick in 2006 out of Clemson. Ball 1 to Venable, and the catcher Wieters goes out to the hill. Dodgers lost by a run at Boston. Toronto shut out San Francisco. So at the moment, Padres have a 1.5 game lead over second place LA. In on him and a wave and a miss.
Slider down and in. Birkin's got a nice tight slider there. You know, you could see where this guy would have starter stuff, don't you think? And where he could fit in.
Quite a few weapons that he can go through the order a few times if need be.
In a rotation, you betcha.
Rockies, by the way, come back and tied the Brewers 4-4 in the 8th at Colorado. The 1-2 pitch. Will walk, forcing in a run in the first. Since then has popped to second and struck out. Came in on him again with that slider. And strikes out Venable. Birkin sets the side down in order. We'll move to the ninth. Baltimore 5, San Diego 3. Now open at Santee and Vista, soon to open in the neighborhood near you. And it's the difference in this game right now. Adam Jones in the 6th. Going upper tank. 9th of the year. Made it 5-3, and that is our score as we go to the 9th. New pitchers, Edward Mujica.
Well, Edward pitched against the Toronto Blue Jays back on the 16th. He threw a couple of innings. He struck out 2 Blue Jays, 19 pitch effort, so 3 days rest for the right-hander. Trying to hold the O's at 5.
2 scoreless for Webb. 2 hits, 2 strikeouts his line, and shortening to bunt as Turris takes a strike. Eight, 9, and 1 for the Orioles in the 9th. Left center field, Tony holds it out, number 1. Pitcher spot due up next, so they're going to bat for Birkin with a left-handed bat, Moore. Scott Moore. Hacks it foul past third. It's a guy who has a history in this part of the country. He was the top high school prospect in Southern California. Graduated from Cypress High School in 2002. And he lines it into left center field. Tony able to backhand and cut it off. And Moore is on with a pinch hit single. The Padres Majestic Store has the perfect Father's Day gift for your dad. Purchase a Padres polo shirt, receive a sleeve of Padres golf balls for free. Hurry, Father's Day tomorrow. Supplies are limited. And the Padres Majestic Store is located at Petco Park in the Western Metal Supply Company building. Call 619-795-5910 for more information. That's the top of the O's order. Lugo, but first to check on Moore. Ripped down the left field line, hook. And it hooks enough to go foul. Or Lugo, who not had an extra base hit all season, nearly got his second one of the night tonight. Just foul.
Scared that security guard down there. He's not watching the game.
He's doing his job.
Trying to work it down there.
So he vacated.
Yeah.
Somebody rattled his cage.
Nice. Don't hang him a breaking ball for a strike. I didn't realize it till. Hey.
A lady on the left there. A charge out of that.
El Diablo. Good changeup for Mujica.
Oh, 2 on Julio Lugo. Mujica trying to keep this a 2-run game. The Orioles batting in the top of the 9th. His fastball is up high. Look at the bottom of the inning, and the Padres will have the bottom of the order. Jerry Hairston, Tony Gwynn, and the pitcher spot due up. They've already used Cunningham. That leaves a pinch hitter Zawatsky and right-handed hitters DeNorfia, Hundley, and Salazar available on the Padres bench. Orioles with 11 hits tonight. Padres with 8. Last night's game ended the other way around. Padres had 11. Orioles finished with 8. And a 3-2 San Diego win. Moore keeping the attention of Mujica.
I think it should. I'm not saying he's not concentrated, but you got to concentrate making a good pitch here, possibly get 2. It's more important to make that good pitch and to make a quick move over to first.
And he strikes out Julio Lugo with a changeup.
There you go. Watch the arm speed. It's slowed up a little bit, but still, it looks like a fastball, and then it drops right out of the strike zone. The old trap door gets Lugo swinging.
Pretty hard changeup at 88.
Yes, it is.
Tejada 0 for 4. 2 ground outs. He's flied out and struck out. A step off and a look over. Torrealba comes out.
You know what? I can't read minds. I've never claimed to read minds, but I think that was, hey, don't worry about that guy.
He almost
let's get this guy out.
Gave a wave to first base, like, hey, don't worry about him over there.
Forget about him. Let's concentrate on making a good pitch here to get out of this inning.
Pitch out.
Hey, maybe it was a little reverse like
there. Yeah.
Don't worry about him. He might be going. Let's throw a pitch out on him.
Sandbagging him. A little grin there by Moore. Yeah. Using some psychology on me, huh? Fastball strike.
That was a good acting job by Torrealba.
Yeah, he did. He physically kind of gave a little wave.
Don't worry about it.
To first base. Hey, don't worry about him over there.
Next pitch is going to be a pitch out.
We'll get him running in the inning that way. Moore didn't bite. And now Mujica does pay attention once again to Moore. Moore creeps out to his lead. Rip and a miss by Tejada. Well, he's some good changeups, Mujica.
You know, generally speaking, anywhere, 12 to 14 miles an hour difference on your changeup is pretty ideal. But Mujica, his fastball is about what, 92, 93?
That's only what, six?
Maybe,
5, 6?
Maybe 4, 5, or 6 miles an hour difference.
Oh, a defensive cut.
Willie Mays Hayes swing right there.
Tejada.
Oh my goodness. That ball rides up and into Tejada. Hey, get out of there.
That's in the kitchen there, huh?
Yeah.
Hits him with the fastball and strikes out Tejada. A scoreless inning for Mujica. Do the Padres have any magic tonight? Last chance for San Diego coming up with the bottom of the tomorrow. The park at the park gates open at 10:30 and breakfast is first come first serve. So be sure to get there early. Visit Padres.com/breakfast for all the delicious details. 5-3 Orioles into the bottom of the ninth, and the Orioles tonight look to Alfredo Simon to try to close it out.
2/3 of an inning last night for the O's right-hander. One walk, he struck out 2. And Simon, fastball split, cutter, and a curve. He can get it up there now, 97-98 on the fastball.
Bottom 3 scheduled for the Padres. Hairston, Gwynn in the pitcher spot due up third. Jerry Hairston leading off. The fastball at 96 is up high. Simon, who has 6 of the 11 saves for the Orioles this season.
Well, he can get a little erratic now.
That's away. 2 balls and a strike. Jerry with a 2-run single in the first. Since then, he's fouled out and grounded out. 1 for 3. Padres down a run last night in the ninth. Came back scoring 2 to win. Tonight, the task a bit more difficult. Down 2. 3-1 count on Jerry leading off.
Hey, Simon does something very rare that closers do. You know what that is?
What's that?
Works out of the full windup.
Yeah, not many. Lidge does that.
Yeah, Brad Lidge, Phillies. Majority of the guys go from the stretch position with no runners on. Simone, he likes to go from the full windup.
3-2 pitch. And fouled off by Hairston.
Although it's an abbreviated windup, it's not the full, over the head. Just a little step back just to get that foot in front of the rubber to go into his leg kick. Not a lot of movement to get into that power position over the rubber.
Now it's the third foul. Final game of the series tomorrow at 1:05. Rookie Jake Arrieta will go for the Orioles. He's won his first 2 big league starts, beating the Yankees and Giants. And John Garland for the Padres. Will it be a rubber game, or will the Padres be looking for a sweep? 3-2 just misses. Ball 4, and Jerry walks to begin the ninth. Well, the walk is what began the Padre ninth last night. There was a walk to Headley last night. There's Tony, who singled his last time up with a base hit to center that came off Kevin Millwood. The starters right now, still the pitchers, a record. Wieners is going to go out to the mound. Millwood went 6 for the Orioles, 3 runs, 7 hits, walked 2, struck out 5, and Clayton Richards 6 innings, 5 runs, 4 earned, 8 hits with a walk and 5 punch-outs for the Padres. Neither team's bullpen has flinched in this one. Padres have gotten 3 scoreless from their pen, 2 from Webb and 1 from Mujica. Those have gotten scoreless work from Omen. Burkett, and now Simone, who misses by a hair there. And it's 2-0. $28,138. The announced paid attendance tonight. They're quieted down for the moment as Simone pours in a strike.
The one thing about Simone throwing the ball so hard, and it's just natural reaction for a hitter, that high fastball at times is really tough to lay off. The count in Tony's favor at 2-1. Make him come to him, get a good pitch to rip at, stay off the high stuff.
Foul down the left field side.
That pitch looked like it was up just a little bit.
A 95 mile per hour fastball from Alfredo Simone. We mentioned it last night. Simone missed most of last year with Tommy John surgery. Had it on May 5th. I mean, incredible how quickly a lot of the guys come back from that now. Tie requested and granted. Dodgers lost, so did the Giants. Rockies have now taken a lead over the Brewers. Padres at the moment a game and a half up on second place LA. Pulled foul. And the Padre win, they can take a 2-game lead in the division. If they lose, they would maintain a 1-game lead. Raleigh caps on again tonight in the ninth. Simone's 2-2 to Gwynn. Another foul.
Battling.
Tony had a nice at bat in the ninth last night, battling David Hernandez. Hit it sharply, but Wigginton, the first baseman, had a backhand pickup going to his right. They got the force out at the plate, and that very well, if he doesn't make that play, Tony could have ended the game right there, giving the Padres a win. Instead, Adrian, the next hitter, did the honors. He holds up and takes low, and it's a full count.
Well, I was just going to say, if Simone is going to throw Tony a breaking ball, off-speed pitch, he better make sure that it gets it out of the zone, and he wants Tony Gwynn to fish for it. If he throws it for a strike, there's a good chance he can hit that hole on the right side.
Pitcher spot duo next, Denorfia in the on-deck circle. Full count on Gwynn with Jerry Hairston at first. Nobody out in the Padre ninth with the Orioles up by 2. Base hit right field. Hairston takes the turn. He'll go to third. Markakis plays it in, and Tony in with a head-first slide at second with a double. Well, not only impressive the base hit, but Tony hustling out of the box and getting 2 bases with Markakis having to chase that towards the right field corner, and the tying runs are in scoring position.
This is unbelievable. Simone, you know what? Credit Tony Gwynn for recognizing the 95, 96 mile an hour fastball and spinning on it. Now, as you mentioned, Mark, he sees Markakis going towards the line. He doesn't even break stride. Oh, yeah. You betcha.
7th double for Tony.
Work that magic.
Well, it was Denorfia in the on-deck circle. Now, former Oriole Oscar Salazar has come into the on-deck circle. There's Oscar, who came over from the Orioles last year in the trade for Clay Meredith. By the way, Clay right now not in the big leagues with the Orioles. He was sent down to their AAA club last month. First 2 on in the Padre ninth. And Salazar bats for the pitcher, Mujica.
Well, let's see if Oscar Salazar has got that magic shillelagh in his hand. Oh, you can feel it, can't you?
Is there more magic here at Petco Park? There's Hernandez. They tried to close it out last night for Baltimore. Oscar takes the first pitch just a little bit high for ball 1. 87 mile per hour cutter.
You know, maybe Simone's thinking, man, if Tony Gwynn spun on that 95 mile an hour fastball, maybe I need to get a little tricky and try to spin one up there to Salazar.
Slider and a swing and a miss. Actually, that slider really kind of more of his cut fastball.
Good pickup. You're right.
Try call on the inner half. Pinch hitter Oscar Salazar in the hole, a ball and 2 strikes. Laid off one. A bit off the outside corner. A split finger there.
See that thing dancing there?
Wow. How he took that. A split. Just a little below the knees. And it's a full count. Three and 2 on the pinch hitter, Oscar Salazar.
You got to throw him another one here, don't you? First base open. I know it's the go-ahead run, but Fastball.
Chopper, runner coming home. Tejada goes to first. They get an out. It's 5-4, and now the tying run is at third with one out. And that's going to bring up the top of the order, and Eck, who is no stranger to the walk-off. Jeremy Affeldt of the Giants served this one up. That found the Western Metal Building. The only home run for Eck this season.
Once again, going back to our pregame show, talking about Adrian Gonzalez hitting with runners in scoring position. You get that feeling, right? Well, here's the other guy you get that feeling with, David Eckstein. Advantage. Why? Because the infield drawn in. Cuts down the range. Eck, a good contact guy. Fly ball. Base hit, ties the game.
He singled to center his last time up, 1 for 4 tonight. Look out. 96 up and in, puts him on his backside.
You know what? I'd put him on here. Set him a force play.
We have his switch hitter Headley on deck.
Fastball up and in. Now, would you feel more comfortable pitching Eckstein in this situation or putting him on first base with a force out and Chase Headley coming up?
A high strike. Well, knowing what we know and how Eck has done in the clutch, I wouldn't feel bad putting Eck on, but the book says don't put the winning run on base.
Right. Where's that book, by the way?
I don't know. It was checked out long ago and nobody ever returned it.
When you find it, let me know.
Upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Padres have scored 1 here in the ninth. Have the tying run. Tony Gwynn at third with 1 away. 2-1 pitch to Eck. Towards short, backhanded. Runner has to hold. 2 outs. Well, the infield in pays off for the Orioles. And the tying run remains 90 feet away now for Chase Headley.
Got to get to that guy on deck, huh?
Adrian on deck.
Well, on the infield, the Orioles are shifted over towards the right side. Big hole in between Tejada and Isturis on the left side.
From the full windup, fastball bounce to first. That ball just foul. Oh my goodness! Off the glove of Wigginton, but called foul by Phil Cuzzi. And let's get another look at this. He had a great peek. Phil Cuzzi did. No argument from the Padres or Bud from the dugout. But oh my, Headley within inches of tying this game. Look foul.
Well, it's where he touches it in foul territory, but it's where the ball goes over the bag, and that's kind of tough to tell, kind of tough to see.
Tough from that angle. And reaction from Headley, who now has to focus here with an 0-1 count, and that's up and away.
How about bouncing a splitter? That'd be nice.
Off the outside corner. And Adam Jones' 2-run homer in the 6th gave the Orioles a 5-3 lead. Padres have scored 1 here in the ninth. Tying run at third with 2 outs for Headley. Change speeds on him. And with that split, It's a 2-2 count. Padres down to their final strike.
The bottom just drop out of that. Wow. Perfect location.
And the Orioles hang on and win it 5-4. So the Padres get a run in the ninth, but strand the tying run at third. And the Padre magic falls just a little short tonight at Petco. Orioles win it to set up the rubber game tomorrow at 1:05. We'll be back with the totals and to wrap it up after this.